Thank you so much for joining this Zoom class on Lunch and Learn February 13th, 2024. And we're going to be talking about some oils that can be especially helpful for various concerns that people are having right now. So let's get started. And by the way, our next Lunch and Learn will be March 12th. I love doing these Zooms. Helping you to be your best self makes me feel so good. I want to thank you so much for watching and for learning. So the first oil I'm going to be talking about today is, hang on a second. Is cinnamon bark. Cinnamon bark, what will it do for you? Well, it is very protective, spicy, and awakening. It's a top oil for high blood sugar, respiratory issues, helping our circulation, blood lipids, if you know what I mean, heart concerns, oral health, various things we do not want to grow or be affected by, kidney and bladder health, vaginal health, low libido or sexual aversion, comfortable muscles and joints, intestinal concerns. It's a wonderful flavoring for our foods and beverages. It also helps support our reproductive organs and functions, both male and female. It is known as the oil of sexual harmony. It helps us rid the fear of rejection. It will rekindle sexual energies where there have been repression, trauma, or abuse. It can bring clarity to those who struggle with their sexual identity. How are we going to use it? Well, we can use it simply by breathing it in. And I've got my little bubble diffuser here that is still a special promotional incentive for certain brand new account orders. And so we can diffuse it that way. We can also just smell it right from the bottle. I always say take 4 or 5 good deep breaths from the bottle when you're doing it that way. You can also put a drop right in your hand, rub hands together, cup over the hand, nose and mouth, and breathe it in like that. You can use it topically. You'd want to dilute it. It's definitely an oil you want to dilute because it can be considered a hot oil for many people if their skin is sensitive. So you want to dilute it with your fractionated coconut oil, jojoba oil, almond oil, even extra virgin olive oil, although that would give it a little bit of a different scent. And you can rub it onto your sacral chakra, which is the lower abdomen. You just rub it right around. I would rub it clockwise because that will help support healthy bowel movements. Internally, you put a drop under your tongue like this. And you can hold it under your tongue by not swallowing for about 30 seconds because there's a lot of blood vessels right underneath the tongue and that will get absorbed super quickly. You can add it to a capsule or in water. Think cinnamon candies or the Fireball whiskey flavor in terms of what it will taste and smell like. So the next oil I wanted to talk about today is tangerine. Tangerine is very special. It is calming, cleansing, and connecting. And it happens to be your freebie this month with a loyalty order of 125 PV or more. They'll just add that right to your box. You don't have to do another thing to get that as long as you order by the 15th of this month, which is Thursday. Tangerine has been used over 3,000 years and is very valuable in integrative medicine. Would you like to score this free this month with your qualifying order? Then get yourself into your shopping bag in your own account, and that's how you'll do it. And that's one of the beauties of having your own account rather than ordering from a friend's account. You get to have the freebies, not them. It serves as a strong antioxidant, and we need antioxidants in our body because everything we do is oxidizing us. Breathing, talking, singing, dancing, resting, cooking, whatever you're doing, we are oxidizing, which means we're creating some waste products in our body. And those waste products need to be gotten rid of, and antioxidants will do that. In terms of your food, Wyman's wild blueberries, the little tiny blueberries, have a very high antioxidant rating, as does the tangerine, and the cinnamon is high too. Tangerine is also a great immune support. So if you want to stay well and not catch everything that everybody else is catching, you want to be using this. And it's a great cell protector. It does support our liver, gallbladder, and intestines, especially with critters you may have picked up in your travels or from some food somewhere. We don't need those growing inside of us. We do have them. All of us have them, but we don't want any more, certainly. It helps with fluid balance, circulation, metabolism, and as well as carrying too much weight. So if you, especially around the middle, that's the worst place to carry excess weight. The apple body shape is probably the riskiest in terms of our future health concerns. So as much as you can, see if you can whittle that down a little bit. If you're feeling any aches, muscle or joint tension, any muscle joint fatigue, then the tangerine will be beautiful for you as well. It's great for respiratory challenges. It's also wonderful for dandruff, dry, cracked, or irritated skin. Tangerine is known as the oil of spontaneity. It can lift the darkest moods. Mentally, with sad, impulsive, nervous feelings, it will help to decrease those. And will also help us to feel less anxious and to sleep better. It will also help us if we're overthinking or feeling mentally stuck. How many times have we felt that? Like, oh my gosh, I can't take one more thing in my brain. I've had that so often when I've had to reach out for help with the bank, with my technology, and you get stuck on these phone calls. It seems like for hours, even though it's probably only been 35 minutes after you've waited, 10 minutes to be admitted to the queue. But overthinking can really do us in. It can be so exhausting. I know I used to feel that way. I felt that way pretty much for 3 years solid after my brain bleed. So I know what overthinking feels like. And feeling overburdened by responsibility, tangerine can help with that. It helps also with the creativity in our lives by helping us enjoy life, enjoying fun, and reclaiming childlike enthusiasm and optimism. Don't you want to feel more like a kid sometimes? I know I do. We can use it by rubbing it onto the hands, inhaling, or diffusing it. I'm trying to see if I can't catch my little bubble emitting some puffs because it's so adorable. And with this bubble, you can screw on either the small bottle oil, which holds 83 drops, or you can put the big bottle oil, which holds 250 drops minimum. So that bubble is a very valuable little tool to have in your home for getting the benefits of the oils into everybody who's in the room. That's what happens when we diffuse our oils. To me, it's the easiest way to use the oils, by diffusing. That's why we have one going all the time, morning and night. We can inhale it straight from the bottle. We can rub some on our wrists, our heart, our lower belly. We can swallow it in water or in a capsule. And I've got it right here in my water because I wanted to have good focus today. So I put in some Supermint and some Tangerine, and I am well focused. Or again, under the tongue. I use it actually in my coleslaw recipe. I'll stir it in. I'll stir in a couple of drops into my mayonnaise that I add some vinegar to, and it does add a nice citrusy flavor to the coleslaw. Now, this month is a very special month because we get to score freebies, some good freebies this month. So with a 200 PV order, whether it's your very first order enrolling into doTERRA, getting started with your wholesale account, hopefully with somebody's link so that you get the free year of wholesale pricing and not have to pay the $35. So whether it's that type of order or whether it is an order that you normally would place or you place occasionally here at doTERRA, it doesn't matter. For each 200 PV within your shopping bag, you're going to get placed in the shopping bag these free oils. They are DigestZen, Supermint, and Copaiba. And what is special about those? So if you put in a 400 PV order, let's say you needed some skincare stuff, some oils, some supplements, and you got up to 200, you're going to get those 3 free. If you get to 400 PV, you'll get 2 of each in your bag, and that will be 106 for the 3 in wholesale value. So why is DigestZen an oil we want to have in our collection, in our kitchen, in our bathroom cabinet? Why do we want it? Excuse me for a second. We want it because it is very stimulating, it's very moving, and it's very settling. So why do we want to take it on trips too? I always make sure and take it on a trip. It is great for any travel discomfort, any food crisis. And I had one of those once coming back from Salt Lake City. Oh my goodness, that was not fun at all. It was on a red eye overnight, and I had to have a big garbage bag at my seat the whole time. But anyway, it will also help queasy stomach and head, or the heat that comes with traveling as well. Babies who are colicky will also feel relief very quickly with DigestZen. And if we have indigestion, gas, bloating, if we're repeating our foods, we keep burping them back up. If we have a dry or sore throat, if we have morning sickness, I don't have to worry about that anymore, but morning sickness, I did have it pretty bad with my first pregnancy. That was really very bad. Or heartburn. Anything in our lower intestines will be helped by DigestZen as well. So anything from the mouth all the way out to the other end. And if your sinuses are congested, believe it or not, I know it's hard to believe until you actually do it and can see for yourself. But if you put a drop of DigestZen, see if I can find it here. Okay, if you put the drop right here, like right where my glasses goes over my nose, right there, put a drop, a regular neat drop. It doesn't have to be diluted. Put a drop there without splashing it in your eyes. And you will find that it will gobble up whatever is congesting you in your sinuses. So it does break down. Whoop, I didn't quite catch it. It will break down that congestion in your sinuses. And if you happen to need it in in a roller form. They do sell it in a roller form. They do sell DigestZen soft gels if you're not cool about using the plain oil. Plain oil is in the soft gels, DigestZen soft gels. And there are Digest tabs for acid stomach that are completely natural and pure and safe. Now, if you happen to be vomiting, you can rub it onto your belly to keep yourself more comfortable and settle that upset stomach. DigestZen is emotionally the oil of assimilation. It helps us to deal with our life in smaller bites and not feel so overstimulated and overloaded. It will help us receive new information, receive new relationships, new experiences, and new possibilities. So DigestZen is really a cool oil. You can inhale it through your cupped hands or through the diffuser. Rub a couple drops over your belly, take it in water, a soft gel, or in a capsule. It can help return your appetite for food and life, helping us feel nourished. So if somebody has no appetite and they would like to be able to eat and want to eat, they can use DigestZen to trigger that better appetite. The second freebie with our 200 PV order this month is Copaiba. It's also pronounced Copaiba. It's a Brazilian oil of 4 species of Copaiba trees, which are very, very tall, 100+ foot trees. And it is a commanding, comforting, and magnifying oil. It is the safe version of an endocannabinoid you might equate to CBD. It's not like CBD. It has a different chemical composition, and CBD is not tested, by the way. Whatever you're buying out there for gummies and edibles and things like that, nothing is tested out there. Unfortunately, in that industry, it's not tested at all. Whereas our Copaiba is tested through our certified, pure, tested grade set of protocols of like 54 tests, as well as being tested in a third-party lab to confirm that it is 100% pure, nothing added, nothing to dilute it, nothing to boost it up for better profits. So this endocannabinoid oil is 100% pure, safe, and will never cause a failed drug test. Did you know that CBD can cause people to fail drug tests that they have to have for work or to get employed initially? Because the amount of THC, which is the psychoactive chemical constituent of cannabis and CBD, that is a small enough amount in it that it doesn't have to be reported by the FDA. So it's in there. When they say it's free of THC, that's not accurate. They just don't have to report it at that level. However, with CBD, you will find you'll need to take more and more to get your results that you want. And that is when it builds up in your blood and will cause a failed drug test. So I wouldn't want anybody to get in trouble with that. So why is this such an oil rock star? Well, it is great for inflammation. It's wonderful for discomfort of any kind, liver, respiratory, digestive, and skin health. It's great for bruises, blisters, burns. It produces collagen, which as an older person, I'm very aware of because that's where a lot of my wrinkles come from, because around age 25, we start making less and less collagen, which is the building block of our tissues. And that's what produces fatigue, poor memory. It produces wrinkles, drier skin, and so forth. So Copaiba also helps with dry skin and hair, blemishes, menstrual discomforts, managing your blood pressure. It helps heal wounds. It's really, really good for anxious feelings, for bedwetting, for sleep issues. How many of us have had a poor night's sleep in the last year? We all have, right? It's no fun. It makes us drag through the next day, which sometimes that then snowballs into a bad night and so forth. It can be a real snowball effect, sleep issues. So we want to get our good sleep because that's when we heal and that's when we grow. It's when we repair tissues and so forth. Copaiba is also good for incontinence, dopamine deficiency, any really, really bad situations with organs. I can't say the word I want to say because of compliance with the FDA, but think of the worst things that can happen with your organs. Certain addictive behaviors is very good for that. Emotionally, Copaiba is the oil of unveiling. It invites us to connect with our past. It helps us it helps us to find it helps us to find deeper meaning and messages that show up in our lives. It helps us to deal with remorse and forgive ourselves and others. It connects us to the divine for clarity and redefinition. Mental clarity is a big deal now. It's left over from the pandemic. To let go of shame, it will help us let go of shame, regret, unworthiness, and self-loathing to have a purposeful existence. Again, we can smell it. We can rub it onto the crown of the head, which would be about here, the back of the neck. I'm all about putting anything that I want emotional, and I'm intending emotional benefits on the back of my neck. Anything to do with my brain. Over the heart, over the lower belly. We can put 1 to 2 drops under the tongue. To me, it doesn't have much of a taste, but some people say they don't like the taste. I have a pretty hardened tongue now because I take a lot of oils in a little bit of water in my shot glass every morning and every dinner time. We can also use Copaiba in a capsule or swallow it in water. It's also available on the website in a roller form as the plain oil, which you'd be getting free with your 200 PV order, as well as Copaiba soft gels. My husband happens to prefer the soft gels. Now, the third 200 PV freebie is Supermint. You know, I didn't know everything there was to know about Supermint until I was researching to teach this last week. Supermint is the oil of perspective. And it is the oil that helps us when we feel exhausted, when we're lethargic, when we're feeling hot under the collar, or we're angry, we're feeling agitated. It helps us redirect when our thoughts become circular. You know, ruminating, when we can't let go of something, we just keep repeating it over and over. We women are really good at that, ruminating, circular thoughts. It helps us to regain our patience, our presence, and our perspective. Supermint can help us regain optimism, confidence, and deal better with grief as we comfort ourselves. I just sent this to a good dear friend who just lost a family member to murder. Very bad, very sudden, obviously, situation, which has been absolutely devastating. And that is one of the oils that I sent to her. We can use it in beadlet forms. We can use, in fact, I've got one right in my pocket that I always keep with me for my walks and when I'm working out, because midway I will usually need to refresh my breath. So Supermint beadlets are available this way. And we can use it in the regular oil. And there is a roller form of the Supermint as well. So again, we're going to smell it. We're going to roll it onto our body, especially the back of the neck or onto the heart for that grief support. Now, Supermint is, because it's made up of 4 mints, which are Japanese mint, peppermint, spearmint, and bergamot mint. It is good for giving us a boost of energy and alertness, increasing our focus, and cooling us off if we are physically hot. Like I relied on my mint oils in Africa as well as in Mexico when they didn't have air conditioning and it got really, really hot sleeping. So what I would do is I'd put it on my temples, across my forehead, across the back of my neck, on the bottoms of my feet, because sometimes my feet will get excessively hot, on my arms, wherever I could put it on. I was doing that to help cool me off. And so those of us who have those hot episodes, postmenopausally, or if we're too hot being at the beach, on the golf course, in our garden, or wherever we are, the mints will always help us to cool off. Another thing I did want to mention, and this is what fell on the floor a minute ago, our new product called Recharge, and it's a MetaPWR product. And it's got the MetaPWR or metabolism blend oil in it. And when you order these, you get two of these kind of taped together, two of these skinny boxes, and they hold, each of these boxes holds 15 of the sachets. And the sachets look like this. And they are a little bit of liquid with electrolytes in there. And I didn't know much about this either until last week. They say on the package to just kind of shake it to activate it, and then you pour it in your water. So what I've been doing is, first thing when I wake up every morning is I've been filling this with fresh water, filtered water, and then I put one of those sachets in, and I've been using it just a week. After a week, not even a week, I had to make sure what I was feeling was really happening. I can report to you that these electrolyte products, and there are all kinds of electrolyte products on the market, so you want to read your labels and compare. But these are specially formulated by doTERRA. Every single ingredient in there is for a particular reason and in a particular ratio for what we need. And it's all based on the fact that too many of us have too much sodium already. We don't get enough potassium, magnesium. And so that is really what the electrolytes are all about, to try and balance our calcium, magnesium, sodium, and potassium in the right amounts. Sometimes these other products, most of them have sugar in them. This does not. This has stevia sweetening. And so to me, it tastes like there are two versions. There is the wild strawberry flavor, and then there is the lemon lime flavor. I've tried both over the past week. To me, they taste like a non-alcoholic margarita. So that's the way I start my day every morning, is my non-alcoholic margarita electrolyte water. And what it's doing for me is it's giving me more energy, which I thought I had plenty of already. It's helping my regularity. And that has been a challenge for me since my surgery in late September. Helping my focus, and it's also helping me sleep deeper. And I'm not sure why. Maybe it's the little extra. Well, I think it might be because the magnesium they use is magnesium threonate. I think I'm pronouncing that correctly, magnesium threonate. And that specifically is targeted to the brain. So I'm betting that is helping me to fall deeper into REM sleep. Oops, I missed it again. But anyway, give that a look, that Recharge product a look. It, to me, is really, really dynamite. So you'll get $122 of free oils when you process your 200 PV order by the 15th. That includes your free Tangerine. It includes your free Copaiba, DigestZen, and Supermint. And if you reactivate after a year of no orders with that LRP by the 15th, you can qualify for an additional $100 free of oils in April. New enrollments can't get the Tangerine, but they can get the 106 in free oils. They can get the bubble diffuser, plus $100 free of oils in April. To me, that's magical. I don't know how doTERRA can give away much more than that. But wouldn't you agree that's pretty special? The prices will increase March 1st. They gave us a heads up on that a couple weeks ago for an average of about 5%, although the frequent LRP items will be closer to 3% in case anyone wants to stock up now. And that might help you get your free oils by reaching your 200 PV easier as well. If you already placed your order this month and you thought, oh God, I missed out on that, you can call doTERRA customer service, 1-800-411-8151, and tell them you want to do a makeup order, put in the difference that will create a 200 PV total for you, and tell them you want those free oils, and they will send them out with that makeup order box. So I'm going to save the chat right now, and I'm going to stop the recording so that we can have time for some non-compliant questions and answers. So I want to thank you again for listening and learning, and let me know if you have any questions at all, because I'm always here to help you. Thank you so much.